What's up, Powerades? I can't believe I used to say that. That is such a cheesy line. So cheesy. But anyway, I'm not really in the best moods of night. I don't really want to laugh because it's not been a good day for professional wrestling. It's probably a day that will go down as one of the worst days for like people involved in WWE in history because of this virus. There was literally so far over 30 people in the business that have lost their jobs to cut budget cuts for the company, um, and more to come from what I understand. And that's scary, man. That sucks. And to the ones that are going through that, I am so sorry that happened to you. I'm so sorry that that greedy freaking billionaire son of a bitch is trying to save money, like billionaire trying to save money. I kind of understand it because he's gonna save millions. It's not like a billionaire trying to save thousands of dollars or something like that. But I do see what they're doing, so it's a business. You got to understand that. Really sucks. Doesn't make it any easier, and it doesn't make me less angry that a billionaire is being greedy during a time that you should be more caring and understanding to your employees more than anything. So Vince McMahon, as always, you're a piece of crap, dude. Like, I hope they call you out for this, man, and I hope that you get your ass reamed for this, but you won't because you're Vince McMahon. You can get away with anything, man. Watch the Superfly Jimmy Snuka documentary they did on Dark Side of the Ring where they talk about Vince McMahon going into that police station when they were doing the detective work stuff, talking to Vince McMahon, and he brought in that briefcase to kind of open your eyes up to who this guy is. A sleazy piece of crap. That's what he is. But anyway, before I get started, thank you all for the love. That interview I did the other day, that video was the first wrestling video I've done that got me over 100 views on one video that involved wrestling. And it got me, I want to say 14 thumbs up, which is without a doubt a record. And I am so grateful for you guys for doing that for me. The love you've shown me is just incredible, man. And I hope to continue to grow this with all your love and support. So thank you for that. But anyway, last final thought before I move on to the subject of this. Wherein I Love Remix. It's a wrestling organization. It's a little indie show that they have down, indie promotion they have down in Marietta, Ohio, that my buddy and I, my best friend, we go to a couple times a year. Last Saturday, I had something really cool planned when they had the show originally scheduled, and we had our tickets for the front row on the hard cam side, actually. So it would have been cool to see that on the DVD, but, CV and all. But Earl Hebner was going to be there doing a meet and greet, and I was going to meet him and have him do a little spot for my channel here for you guys to have in the opening part, like during my intro that I'm having done by a friend of mine. Unfortunately, we didn't get to do that, but that's okay. Hopefully, he'll be there when they redo the show. But all right, let's get this rolling. Like I said, there's over 30 people so far that's been released and more to come. I'm going to give you the list of everybody I know so far and kind of my little short thoughts on it and where it might lead to them, if anything. First and foremost, the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of them are producers. First and foremost, we got Lance Storm. He was released. One of my favorite underutilized talents that was in WCW and WWE and ECW. Amazing in-ring technician. Amazing. From what I understand, he actually closed his wrestling school 4 months ago. That was his life, his bread and butter, his moneymaker, so he can do this producer job for WWE, and they just let him go. Low blow, Vince. Big low blow, just to save a couple $1,000. Billionaires saving thousands of bucks, man. It's going on a lot around this world right now, and really showing how greedy these bastards are. But next one, another producer would be Shane the Hurricane Helms. I believe he's been with the company for a few years doing this, and was a big fan of him in the cruiserweight division. Sad to see him go from that. Next one, we got Scott Armstrong. He was a previous referee. I actually talked about him in the Undertaker Triple H WrestleMania 27 watch along I did the other day, and I was kind of complaining about his referee and how I didn't care for it. Well, apparently he was a producer. I really wasn't aware of that, but sad that he's gone too. Sarah Stock, not sure who that is. Sean Davari, that would be, I assume, Davari from Muhammad Hassan back in the day. Very controversial, can't say it, very controversial gimmick there. Pat Buck, not sure who that is. Fit Finley, obviously, Finley, one of the best in-ring technicians that was like born on American soil, along with William Regal, you know. But Fit Finley, Mike Rotunda, who is the IRS man, Erwin R. Shyster, a.k.a. Bray Wyatt's father, a.k.a. Bo Dallas's father. He was let go. Billy Kidman, I knew he was with the company. I think he's been in the backstage scene with them for a good while, too. At least the last 5 to 10 years. I couldn't tell you the exact amount, but I knew he was back there. Big fan of his work in WCW, except for the time that he beat Hulk Hogan clean. That was some bad booking right there, Vince Russo. Bro. This one stings a little bit. Kurt Angle. He got a producing job about 6 months ago, maybe, and they let him go. Out of all the people on this list, this one makes the second least sense to me because of what that man has done for you. What he put his body through, the physical hell and addiction that he overcame, and left the company that was treating him so good in TNA to go finalize like his legacy for you, Vince. And then you do that to him after he gives you everything he's got. He just, yes sir, yes boss. When you said do Baron Corbin as his final match of his whole career, he didn't complain one bit. He didn't agree with it, but he gave you what you wanted, and this is how you repay him, bro. Like, you're a piece of shit. I'm gonna keep saying that throughout this video. Vince, you are a piece of shit. I get it. It's a business, man. I get it. But the people you chose on this was just, some of them were just, why? Just to save a couple $1,000 when you're a billionaire? Bailey wants up here. Come on. Mike Chioda. This one kind of hurt a little bit too. Say hi, Bailey. And Enzo. Enzo Soprano. That's the thing we say to him when he comes around with a bone. When he's got a big bone out, it sticks out like a cigar or something. So we call him Enzo Soprano. That was a Kelsey made-up thing. Mike Chioda. He has been a referee or some kind of involvement in the business in WWF/E since 1989. And I know what those refs roughly make. Chioda probably, for his loyalty, is making maybe a little bit more than the average ref. But the fact that you're trying to save that kind of money and you get the guy that's been there longer than anyone else in that business right now, traveled on the road with you 300 days a year, no breaks, for, let's see, 31 years up to this point, and then you let them go just save a couple $1,000. Billionaires trying to save thousands of bucks during this epidemic. You're a piece of shit. That one pisses me off almost more than any of them, to be honest with you. Aiden English, he was announcer apparently in, I don't know if it was NXT UK or the Cruiserweight, I'm not sure. I was a pretty big fan of him with Rusev Day and his work back in NXT and whatnot. Bailey wants his bone. Every video I make, they always got to chime in some way, somehow. It used to really anger me, but now I just embrace it. Look at this. I don't know if you're seeing it. You want to cut it out? I'm trying to work here. Alright. Next up, we have Alexander Jasic. Sorry if I said that wrong. I'm not familiar with that. Maybe an NXT guy. Don't know that one. I can't read my writing. This one is actually one of them that I'm the most happy about. Mike and Maria Kanellis. That Mike has been asking for his release probably for over a year. they wouldn't give it to him. They felt that he was more worthy to stay home, and he didn't want to do that. He was willing to take a massive pay cut and hit the indie scene just so he could live his life like being a professional wrestler, doing what he loves. But they couldn't do that because they couldn't risk him going to AEW, even though he promised that he wouldn't do that. I understand that's just a promise, but what do you really think Mike Kanellis could do to you, Vince McMahon? Like, really? Do you think he's going to break your company, Mike Kanellis? He's an amazing in-ring performer, but dude is maybe top mid-card at best if they book him correctly. So, whatever. And Maria just re-signed like within the last year with WWE for another 5-year contract. So they let them go. Oh, the Revival got released about a week ago too, but that's not really major news because their contract was up within the next month or two anyway. So, and they hadn't been paying them for the last couple weeks. So I bet you there was something bigger to that than just simply getting released. I bet you the Revival threatened like legal action or something. Have no malice to that story or proof or any kind of dirt sheets. Just me guessing. I don't know, honestly, where Mike and Maria may end up. They may go back to ROH or TNA. Don't really see them being an AEW person here. Everyone on this list, everybody's making comments about, oh, they're going to go to AEW. AEW ain't picking up all these people. There's a couple of them that I could see happening. There's one of them that I would absolutely love, but I don't think it's going to happen. At best of this list, AEW may get 3 or 4 of these people that's off of this at best. Because they don't want to be known as the WWE Reject Show. That's what TNA did about 15 years ago, and, you know. So, next up, we got Primo and Epico from, you know, I didn't even know they were still on the roster, I'm not going to lie to you. So this one, if you are going to do budget cuts, kind of makes sense. Hate to say that, but No Way Jose, dude had a little bit of a talent. They brought him up onto the main roster. Never understood really why, because they never did nothing with him. So another one, if it's going to happen, I understand why. Eric Rowan, he was a part of one of the biggest storylines in WWE today. For like 3 months to reveal what was in that bag, only to find out it was a stupid spider. And if I'm not mistaken, was it Kevin Owens or who the hell was it that stomped on it and just Aleister Black? I don't remember who it was. They stomped on it, and that was the end of it. There was this build to what was in this bag. He went on a winning streak, squashing people, winning big matches, to reveal that it was some kind of like fake spider that didn't even look real. WWE logic. And then they release them. I could see this, like honestly, just thinking about it, I could see him going to AEW and joining the Dark Order. I don't know, that may be the safe bet. I don't know. I could see him doing it, but you would have to have Brody Lee, like, basically make this dude his bitch. Like, I don't know. I'd have to think on that. That's not a bad idea, though. But it's the obvious choice, so maybe not. You never know. Next up, Sarah Logan. She was just in a match on Raw. Wasn't she facing, not Becky, Shayna Baszler? And that makes no sense. That must be the reason why, after that match, she went to Twitter and did some kind of tweet. I'll have to look it up. Basically, like, shitting on the WWE. So this must be the reason why, because she knew something was coming up. Next up, we had Heath Slater, who's been in the business almost 15 years, guys. In WWE for almost 15 years. An amazing guy from everything I've been told, like, or read. I ain't personally been told, but everything I read. Amazing human being that just makes the roster a better roster just because he's there. He's not an amazing talent in the ring. He's funny on the mic, good comedy act. Him and Rhino's storyline they had as tag teams was pretty dang awesome. But the thing that bothers me the most is how long he's been on the roster, and then they shit on him, and he ain't eating up much of Vince's bankroll. But, I mean, this dude's got freaking kids, dude. He needs this job. How the hell is he supposed to pay his double-wide trailer payment in his above-ground swimming pool? You selfish son of a bitch. Why would you fire Heath Slater? That's my man. That's my boy. Now I'm fired up. Then you got Kurt Hawkins, which I understand. I mean, if you got to do this, I get it. And Zack Ryder, who's been in the business 14 years. Sucks, makes me sad. I wasn't a big Zack Ryder mark. I didn't feel like he deserved a main event push, but I was happy with his U.S. title win and his IC title at WrestleMania that he won for one day. From the post he put on Twitter, he seems like he's happy about it, like at peace and comfortable with it, because he knows he wasn't really getting much with where he was at. So I'm at peace with this release because he's at peace. All these people now are active roster, by the way. I didn't mention that. Leo Rush, he was the Cruiserweight champion and main eventing NXT for an episode or two, like, less than 3 months ago. Like, if this dude was going to get released, they should have released him back when he was bringing all that controversy, not when he came back and was actually putting on amazing matches and keeping his mouth shut. That's how you reward him. EC3, one of the happiest ones I am to see on this list. That poor guy seems so freaking miserable in anything he did on air. Just the look of love that they did this because he wanted it. I assure you he wanted it. Don't know where this dude's going to end up. I'd be okay with him in AEW to be like a top mid-card guy because I'm a big EC3 mark. WWE really dropped the ball with him and they should be ashamed of themselves. They're not happy because he left NXT from like years back and went to TNA and got a main event push right off the bat and crushed it. So when he came back, naturally Vince had to freaking bury him. Hopefully he goes to AEW. If not, go back to TNA. That's his two options, in my opinion. Next up, we got Eric Young. Happy to see this one go too. Not because I don't like him. Love Eric Young. His Sanity faction he had, major fan of it in NXT. They dropped the ball when he got to the main roster. You notice the trend I'm doing here of NXT guys? How I love them in NXT and then they get up to the main roster and they do absolutely nothing with them. When I say nothing, I don't mean job. I mean literally they make them sit in the back in Titus Catering eating freaking apple pie and dumping freaking Walmart Great Value barbecue chips into sour cream and onion dip and just sit back there and watch freaking Roman Reigns suck on Never mind. So Eric Young. I could see him going back to TNA, maybe the indie scene, nothing more. Drake Maverick. Apparently that man is an amazing human being. Again, backstage, kind of like Heath Slater. Hilarious. Really brightens up the crowd. Kind of similar to your boy here, Max Power. Anywhere I go, I brighten up the crowd, you know? I don't know where he would go. Had an idea with my buddy. People been complaining that I walk around in my videos. I can't help it. I have ADHD. But I'm going to try to start sitting still when I record them, okay? I bought a new camcorder to record this video, but unfortunately the thing is horrible. For the money I spent on it, I expected amazingness out of it, and I didn't even get close to that. Hey, Enzo. So that thing's going back. I'm going to stick with my phone and just buy like a light ring thing like my buddy suggested. But Drake Maverick, I had the idea, send him to AEW and have him join up and team with Orange Cassidy or something like that, be with the best friends. That would be cool. But realistically, I could see him maybe just hitting the indie scenes, being like a second best drawl of the night kind of thing. You know what I mean? These pups really want attention right now. Can you wait till the video's over? Last couple. Then I'll let you get on your way here, folks. We got... Oh, by the way, Drake Maverick, had no idea he was going to get let go. He did a video on Twitter that you guys should go watch. It is heartbreaking, the pain that man's eyes showed. Just the pain in his face, the sadness. Dude had no idea. Completely blindsided, dude. It was pretty depressing. I felt so bad for the guy. The Good Brothers, Luke Gallows and Carlo Anderson. Yeah, the ones that were just in the main event, a part of the main event at WrestleMania a couple days ago. The greatest tag team in the world. The ones that just re-signed a 5-year contract 2-3 months ago. Those Good Brothers, yeah, they got released. I'd love to see them in AEW, but I think a perfect fit for them would be to go back to New Japan. Truly think that. I don't really want to talk about that one much because I kind of like think less of them because they re-signed with WWE, but whatever. Last one, and the one that made me the most happy. Rusev, baby. They let him go. I love it. He's free, bro. He could go to AEW, which is where he's going to go. Bet on it. And if anybody doubts you, tell them Tex B sent you. They'll know what to do. He's going to AEW. Within the next 90 days, you will see Rusev on AEW. Mark my words, he'll get the push he's always deserved. And Vince is going to regret it for the rest of his life. That is not a prediction. That is a spoiler, pal. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm pretty freaking down in the dumps over this whole thing because I think it's crappy that he's doing this. I understand it's a business. Like I've said millions of times in this video, it's a business. But unfortunately, when you're on the opposite end of the spectrum, getting the crap end of the stick, it kind of pisses you off a little bit. But that's how it's supposed to make you feel. We're going to beat this. We're going to make it through it. And we're going to be better human beings from it. Not a prediction. Spoiler. Just like I said a minute ago about the other subject. So, I guess more will be on the way for the releases. If I had to guess, I'd say like a Kairi Sane. I don't know, man. I don't even want to play that game. I don't even want to try to guess who would be the ones they let go. But it's pretty sad, man. A lot of people pretty down the dumps and depressed about it. I haven't seen this many releases that just kind of pop up since like 2005, 2006. They did like minor releases here and there every few years, but never nothing like this where like a fourth of their roster has been cut. Very depressing time, but you all just take care of each other. Stay safe. We're going to get through this. Love y'all.